let's jump into the activity. Do you have these rings with you? We ask you to bring some rings from cut from pipes. Yes? So to start with, we will need these rings. Okay? And I hope you saw the photos. So the size around this, like 1 centimeter thickness. If it's a bit bigger or smaller, no problem, right? And even now, I'll just here. Yeah, so these we are going to paste with some super glue. Now I of course have a tin here, but if you have the tube, you can directly apply a bit and try to stick two together, right? So I am going to use a stick. Most of my items that I'm using today are disposed items, right? So I didn't buy anything or get anything new. They were all found from different places outdoors and what was not used, right? So I'm going to paste. We can gently do that, and we will have to leave it a bit for it to stick. And then I'm going to, we will make one side I did, and the other side also I'm going to paste another ring. I hope you can see. So I've glued 3 rings together, and we can leave that aside, right? Let it dry and stick. If we go to move, it will just go here and there, right? Then I'm take another 2 and try to stick. Now just to see whether it works, I did this before the session starts. So my one is already glued, right? So you can take another 2 and try to do the same thing. Paste a bit of glue and then stick the 2 together. So you will have another 2 of them. Now what we are going to do is, these 3 rings here is our first row, and these 2 rings here will be our second row, which we are going to fix like this, like the Olympic symbol, right? So 3 on top and 2 rings at the bottom. So we have to now paste with more glue, right? So take the glue and try to paste in this arrangement. So we will need to kind of paste glue. Now, because it's not yet dried enough, it might try to move here and there. So we will have to do this gently and try to, put glue and stick it. Be careful. If you have the tube, it will be easier, less messy. So not to stick this on your fingers much. Sometimes it will be too strong for your little fingers. So we are going to, I glued. Now it's like the Olympic 7 we said, but 6 is all we need. So we have 1 more ring, which we are going to fix like this. I hope you can see. Now it will look like a triangle. Now make it a triangle, right? So that last one we are going to fix to the bottom at the center and make it look like a triangle. So if your ring is uneven like mine, now see, when cutting, I actually could not make it very smooth, and there are some edges which are a bit longer, right? So I will say keep the thicker side, right? So in terms of height, now one side, my one side is longer, one side is a bit short, right? So I'm going to put the short side in to the rings, and the longer side or the wider one will be facing outwards, right? So if your ring is just even and you are having a nice thickness all around the ring, any side is okay, right? Okay, so let's fix that last ring. Now the Olympic rings, we are making it a triangle. See how it transforms. Earlier they were rings, now the rings are glued, and we've got another shape now. Now it looks like a triangle, right? You can call whatever. Okay, so that part is done, and we are going to let it settle like the water we've been saying, right? So if we try to do a lot of stuff, this too will get agitated and this will, we might mess it up, right? So let it settle and leave it aside to dry. Next is the fun part. So let's these all these sticks. So if you use the tin like me, leave them on a rough sheet or something where the glue will not stick unnecessarily into other places. So I am having, when you are taking the ball for the next part, it's good if it's like a not a small one, right? Because the idea is later we are going to put this in. Oh, there's another part to it. I almost forgot, right? Now we need a stick for this, for which this pen is almost over. I said I'm using almost these, disposed items or unwanted things. So I'm going to take this empty stick from a pen that was almost over, right? So an empty pen. Now the pen was transformed into a stick. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to glue the stick onto this, like this. So let's glue that part as well. Sorry, I put all the things aside. Now I need to open this again. So one more thing before we can close the glue, tube of glue for the, right? So let's paste the, I hope all this stays. The pen, of course, doesn't stay this side. Let me see if the other side will stay. We'll have to try out. So hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to do that. I'm just, okay. So the idea is later we use this as a stick. But my issue is, did it stay? So we will have to let all this dry and see. Okay? Like this. Now if I do anything, it's all going to fall apart. So I'm going to leave it aside and see. And maybe paste some more glue around the thing so that it sticks. Okay, right. So let's leave it aside and we move on to the next part. So for that, a bit of a bigger surface. If the ball is having a bigger surface, it's better. Now for that, we first add sugar. If you already have hot water or warm water in it, no problem. But if you have an empty ball, we can first add the sugar and then add some warm water. Okay, so I'm adding some warm water. Why we add the warm water is because the sugar can mix easily, quicker. And why we add the sugar, we will see later, right? It's just a part of the solution. So you can mix it and add the dishwashing as well. And mix and mix and mix. You can notice how the water changes. It was see-through, hitting the metal plate. Now I can see bubbles. My plate is filled. Do you think now you have an idea what we are doing? I'm sure all of you know what's going to happen next, right? So, and you can add a bit of cool water, normal water to it. I think this is enough for my solution. Today we are going to blow bubbles with a wand that, we made it on our own, cutting pipes, making it, sticking it with glue, our own handmade bubble blower. And the solution too we made, right? Now my solution is mixed well. The sugar particles are not to be seen. They are well mixed and dissolved into the water. And my water, some parts of the water is very clear with no disturbance. And towards the corner, all the bubbles are settled towards the edge. That's my observation. Oops, sorry. Now, let's see. See if your bubble blower is ready. My one, the pen is still not stuck well. It's wobbly, right? The idea is to dip this in. Dip this in, but I don't know if it's glued. Our one, we didn't give it enough time to dry, right? And see. Oh, there are bubbles coming. Right, let's see, let's try. Shall we blow the bubbles? I have to dip it well, huh? You know why the sugar we added? We added the sugar so that the bubbles will stay longer as a bubble in shape. Is it coming?
සතිපාසල පදනමෙහි ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමකි.